Today's event is the 11th annual Beeper Baseball Tournament. We got started in this by one of our members, John Herzog. He has a grandson that was born blind, and his older son helps coach the Chicago Comets. He's part of the hierarchy, if you will, of the Beeper baseball in this area. And he just decided that we could host a little tournament. They try to invite some people. And the first 3 or 4 years, it was maybe 4 teams were here, and then it grew to where now this is our 11th annual Beeper baseball, and it's turned into the second best, according to the players, second best tournament other than the Beeper Baseball World Series.
How many players come out for this event?
Well, generally there's about 10 to 15 players a team. Generally there's 8 teams. This year we have 6 teams, so there'll be anywhere between 60 and 80 players here. Depends on the travel expenses that the teams can muster. We've had teams from Boston, Austin, Texas, Colorado.
Wow!
But these teams are all independent, and they have to raise their funds in order to get to the tournament and the World Series. So what we do is the winner of the tournament gets a little extra money, but every team that participates, I believe we give at least their entry fee into the World Series if they're going.
Lions Club members, how many members strong is Bolingbrook?
We have 78 members from all over the community. We actually have some members who don't live in town anymore, but they maintain their membership. There's probably 8 or 10 ladies that are members as well. We welcome women or anybody.
Do you see, Lions Club typically addresses eyesight issues. Do you think that the people's eyesight has gotten worse as technology has advanced? I mean, I guess glasses are good, but kids playing video games sooner.
Well, what's really happened, what's weakened eyesight, if you will, or led to an increase in vision problems is obesity and diabetes. Diabetes being the leading cause of blindness. So more and more people, more and more kids are coming up with diabetes. Plus, the schools are more aware of it now, so the schools test, and we test as well. We try to test as many kids as we can, which we just bought a brand new vision screening machine that's basically designed for children. Because trying to get a kid to hold still and put his chin on that spot, look at the back, and try and we tell him there's a dinosaur going to come across there and all this other stuff. So this machine, you can just sit across from somebody and just hold it. It's like an old-fashioned Polaroid camera, a little larger, much more modern than our current machine, which is broken. That's why we're buying this new one.
What kind of budget do you have to work with every year here locally?
Every year we budget probably $18,000 for service activities. We budget more for other. Everything we do is service related. Any money we raise from the public goes back to the public. Mm-hmm. Any money, the only money that we can use on ourselves comes from our dues, and we fine ourselves and we do things like that. So we might take in $25,000, $30,000 a year in fundraising. Last year, in fact, right now we're at 51 pairs of eyeglasses that we purchased. So you figure that's about $100, depending on some of the people might have a need for contacts or some special glasses. Generally, we only go with single vision glasses, and then we've bought 15 hearing aids so far this year. They run anywhere from $300 to, if we get a used one out of our foundation, to $1,000, $800, $900 for a new one.
Wow. if somebody's struggling with their eyesight, whether it be a senior or a younger person that needs help, how do they reach the Lions Club? Where can residents reach out for them?
Basically, we have a website, www.bolingbrooklions.org. And there's a tab up there that says assistance or something along those lines. There's an application there. They can download that application and mail it. There's an address. We have one person who takes care of all of this, and they will contact the individual. We get a lot of our referrals from the schools. We get some from the Will County Health Department. Basically, they come from the schools and individuals who need help. We did a lot of work at Greenleaf. We had a member who lived there till he moved to Georgia, so we would get some seniors out of there, but generally it's the kids, and you don't have to be a kid, you don't have to be a senior. We'll help anybody if they have a need for it.
Sure. John J. Parker.
Okay, John, how long have you been associated with this baseball league?
23 years, my 23rd year.
20, and you were talking earlier about playing for an all-star team and all the different, kind of talk about your career and how competitive this sport is.
It's major league competitive. It's the pros out here for what normal people would call baseball, basketball, football, NFL, things like that. And these guys and girls put their butts on the line every play and risk injury and everything to get that out and to get that run. You see them diving for the base, diving for the ball, and we don't have all the kind of pads that football players do.
Yeah.
So it's intense.
And how many? You were talking. I don't want to give away your age to the fans at home, but you've had a lot of years playing this. Do you plan on going into coaching? I mean, can you ever step away from a ball field?
It's tough. I coached the Kansas All-Stars for years, so I'm probably just going to have to at least take a break. But yeah.
What do you tell the young guys? I mean, because limited sight vision or no vision at all, it's a difficult enough challenge to overcome. But then to feel like you got to be competitive out here and find that ball. Does it give you a sense of accomplishment more so than it would if you were just an athlete, or is it? Because you're at a disadvantage. It doesn't matter if it's an athletic performance now. You're still at a disadvantage not having eyesight and having to hear it. It's a different skill set.
It's a different skill set. So you're using what other people use plus your ears. And so it's a great feeling to communicate with people out here, just like anybody else would. But at the same time, you have to focus with your ears on where the ball's going, and it's a little bit more intense in my opinion because. It's easy also to get hurt out here. I mean,
you don't see the ball coming.
No, you get spaces apart. You have to make sure you're spacing your lines on defense. It's tough, but it's great. It's a tremendous sense of accomplishment. You get out here and you play hard, and you actually, like I say, make some good plays.
Do you hope to? There was some talk about doing this for younger levels and trying to get younger kids starting earlier in beeper baseball. Is that something that you'd advocate?
Beep baseball for the blind is just like anything. If we can start earlier, then all the better. But it's not always easy to organize that. So if we can start earlier, man, it's a wonderful thing because that way these kids get the chance to grow up with it, and they get that sense of athletic accomplishment as well.